Hello and welcome to The Chain, a series where one episode links to another by some means, whether that be the director, an actor, the composer, a word in the title. It could be anything. Last week we had a look at James Newton Howard's score from Hidalgo, and linking this week via the actor J.K. Simmons, we're having a look at Danny Elfman's score from Spider-Man 2. J.K. Simmons, possibly best well known these days for playing Jonah Jameson in basically all of the modern Spider-Man movies. And I think this is the first time we've done anything by Danny on the chain, which is quite exciting. I know in particular Joseph, one of my long-time fans and supporters, has a deep connection to Danny's music and has begged me to do things several times, and I've always managed to find a way not to. And it's not because I don't like Danny Elfman's music. This is going to be a fairly good example to show actually some of the challenges of working on Danny's scores. So I'm looking forward to having a look at this one with you guys. If you are here during the live stream, please come and take part in the live chat. It's always fun to see that buzzing away. So I better open that window so I can see if anyone's here. We've got AJ already, so hi to you. Yeah, if you're new here, then if you enjoy yourself, please subscribe to the channel. And you'll get notifications when we're doing stuff. There's this weekly live stream, but occasionally we drop some surprise bits in between, and you'll get notified when that happens. Right then, well, without further ado, I'm going to bring up a Sibelius template that I've made already. So we're going to have a look at the main titles, which is similar to the main title from Spider-Man 1. A few differences as we go on. Most of the orchestra I've put in already here. Oh, that should say flute 1 and 2. However, percussion, you'll notice, is very light, and that's because I haven't added all of it yet. One of those challenges that I mentioned with this particular score is that some of the percussion was pre-recorded and therefore is not notated in the manuscript. So with any project like that, the only real thing we can do is actually transcribe it by ear. So tonight, when we're going through this, I'm going to go by the manuscript, which is, we know off the right off the bat, is going to be missing bongos and things like that. So anyway, you can see we have a very large brass section and large string section. It's a pretty big orchestra. In fact, there should have been 3 flutes, so probably on... let's do that. Fun times. Right, I see what's happened here. So we've got a huge brass section, which you'll see in a sec. 3 flutes, 2 oboes, 3 clarinets, 2 bassoons plus contra, then 8 horns, 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, 2 bass trombones, and 2 contrabass trombones. No cymbals, so we'll take that out. That's a leftover from the template before. Timpani, percussion of various sorts, 2 harps, piano, probably some synth as well, choir, 28 violins, 14 violas, 14 cello, 8 basses, so lots and lots. Speak of the devil, hi Joseph. Right, so there's a brief note from the orchestrator for this cue is Mark Mackenzie, and there's a note from him to Steve, who I presume is Steve Bartek, the lead orchestrator on this project. Steve, in Spidey 1, they added one beat before bar 1. So we'll have to listen to the audio and see if that's the case. Very easy to add a pickup bar in Sibelius. So we'll leave it as is for the moment. Go by the manuscript. I didn't know that Tim did music prep on Spidey 2. That's fun. Although I should have expected that. I know Tim did an awful lot of work with Danny over the years. Okay, so let's get going. We are going to do that. So switch that to voice 2. Yep. Want that. And doubling on there, but then so that's an interesting little rhythmic moment. Building from next to nothing through that. Okay, that's kind of all that happens, although I know, and this is not notated from having listened to it earlier on, there's some glockenspiel, maybe synth glock, maybe song bells, orchestral bells, something up there tinkling away. It's not notated, so I'm not going to put it in right now. We'll have a listen when we play back the actual audio. So that's all we get on the first page for now. What I'm really excited about, I mean, not to kind of poo-poo on the Spider-Man 2 score, because I love the Sam Raimi Spidey films and the scores. I love Danny's music, particularly from this kind of era, all the classic Danny scores, But next week we're going to do some more Danny Elfman, and that's going to be maybe new to some of you guys, although I know many of you are aficionados of film music, so probably not completely new. But it's more conducive to this sort of stuff, fully orchestral, fully notated in the manuscript, so it makes my life a bit easier. I'm just going to open, or maybe I'm not. I'm just going to open something, but I don't know if that's going to, just ignore that for a second. And ignore that. Where's my list? Just going to check on what we've got coming up links wise. I can't remember where I've put my there we are. Yes, yeah, okay, yeah, so it is what I thought it was. And then we've got, following that, two diverging potential options in our chain links. Yeah, interesting you mentioned about controversy around some drama between Raimi and Elfman. I could maybe understand why. Yeah. But aside from that sort of thing that you mentioned there, Joseph, Danny has quite an unusual way of scoring compared to some of the more traditional composers, particularly back then, before we had the more people who compose using computers and things, who don't necessarily have as much written training, if that is not just doing people a disservice, but you had the likes of Media Ventures and that kind of brought on this different ethos of film scoring, I think. A new era. I've seen, I could compare it to some of the things in John Williams scores, where occasionally John will sort of not decide during the composing process which instrument he wants a solo to be played by. So both or multiple will be included on the manuscript, and then that will be decided on the podium. Maybe they'll actually record both versions and decide which sounds better. And Danny, in some ways, does something very similar, where if you look at the manuscript, there's a whole bunch of stuff which is not on the recording, and that's because there's still some element of composing process that happens at the recording studio, much more so than some other composers. Now here we've got I'm going to put A6. It's written out in longhand here. It says 6 only. That's kind of makes sense to me. So far, just some strings. Let's just check that is working right. So there's some kind of arpeggiated glockenspiel type sound missing from that. Just going to zoom in on that rhythm a bit more to make sure. I think that's what we've got there. I think we're good. Right. Okie dokie. Right. So still with strings. There. Done that. Okay, next page. So here we'd be expecting to get some bongo type sound coming in. It's not notated. I'm pretty sure it will have been pre-recorded. So for now I'm going to leave that out. Okay. Please don't point out the fact that I'm missing it, because I know. You get someone join later on who says, there's a bit of bongos there. Apologies if you're getting some background noise. It is meltingly hot here. And it has been for days. Unfortunately, our houses are designed to keep heat in, which is not good. And we have no aircon. That's fun. Right. Actually, that's not going to work like that. So, second stave, we don't have one. Yeah, short of opening a window and putting a fan on, we haven't got anything. And I can't really put that fan on, I'll get so much background noise that it'll be horrible for you guys. So I'll just sit here and slowly melt. Right, that goes down. Let's starting for aesthetics to triple P. Okay, and that needs slashes, that all needs slashes. Nope, it doesn't. Ugh. Okay, actually that can just leave above, can't it? The only reason I've put this one off to the side is because the octave line and the ledger lines and stuff, it's just, you'll get too, the vertical spacing will be too much in that point. Right, okay, so this is still Diva 3. So that wants to go there. And we will copy. Okay, that's not quite that. It should be. Oops. Diminuendo there. Put the hairpin in so that it actually does that, because the text diminuendo has no kind of indication of length to it. So now we put a hidden hairpin in that actually defines that diminuendo. And then copy those dynamics down to there. Job's a good one. Normally I like to keep things on the same plane, but that's not too bad aesthetically. So I'm going to dip that down to come under that tie, rather than having these kind of estranged from the notes, you know, too far from the stave. I'm going to come down to like that, so yeah. And this is a pretty iconic cello moment. Oops, be helpful if I did it in my bass curve. Okay, ooh, staccato. Tutti, détaché. So we're on the order of text is who and then how. So who is tutti. So we now all of the cellos. We had 6 before, and then how is détaché. So detached bowing. It's a technique, so it goes above rather than below for expression text. So that's off the string. Then we missed a little thing. We put sol tasto there. This should also be sol tasto, which is over the fingerboard, where you can't create as much bow pressure. So nearer the bridge you can get real kind of attack into the bow weight, because you've got the resistance of the bridge, which the strings go over to press against. Whereas if you play over the fingerboard, you're quite away from the bridge, and there's the flexibility in the strings, and you physically can't put too much weight into the bow. So if you're trying to play very quietly, you play over the fingerboard. Hi Darren, good to see you. Yeah, a Spider-Man Darkman crossover. That'd be quite funny if there was a little Darkman cameo in the next Spider-Verse or something. Yeah. Right, so we did that, now that gets doubled. I think okay, so that's bloody high for that violin. Wow. I'm going to bring that up a touch because, you know, that should come out. It comes out in the mix, but obviously not there. Let's make sure we've got that sorted. That might be too loud now. Yeah, so we'd expect. Let's just throw a bongo in there, I think. Let's go. So like I say, this is not notated. I want to show that. I'm going to go bongo get like and there's a bunch of accents on that, maybe just coming naturally from the player, but so you'd expect to hear this. Maybe that's a bit quiet, but you get the idea. Ostinati Pro. My favourite film in the Raimi Spider-Man trilogy is 2. I think it's the one I've watched most. I really enjoy that train sequence in particular. Okay, right, so I might just for a second mute that because it's not written in the manuscript and I want to actually transcribe it properly by ear, not just make it up like I just have, but that should continue. So let's go with what we can actually see. Interesting. Oops, that. So I need here show maybe second cello line. So pretty classic way of notating this in the manuscript. Which is, well, I'll make it match. So I'll show you how it looks and then show you how I would do it. So we want yeah. Then we've got 3, 2. Okay, and we might do some form of masking to try and make that text slightly clearer against the staff, but that's kind of it's kind of fine. You understand what that says, even if it's not completely unobscured. It's like when you read, have you ever seen that thing where you read a paragraph of text and all the letters of each word are jumbled up, but as long as the first and last letter are in the correct place of each word, you can read the whole thing. Your brain just unscrambles it. You can see that and you know that says 332. So that like that, then we get viola, which was on 2 staves, is back to 1. So that's unisoni and détaché. Except it is in 6th. Zoom in a bit on that, I think. It's not completely clear. Well, that doesn't seem right. But gonna go with that. Okay, now we've got some piano 2. Yes, I think. Have we got 2 pianos? No. Like that. Right, so piano 2 at this moment gets that chord which needs this stuff there. What are you talking about? Let's try that again. That down the octave. Okie dokie. Starting dynamic for that. So that's fine, and what you're hearing is going to be fine. However, in my opinion, it's much more kind of aesthetically pleasing if this staff isn't empty, and instead, if I copy that to here and bring the divisi back to the beginning of the line, so I say div 8, because we know there's 8 players there, and div 6, and remove that from there and there. Now both lines are in use, these guys are effectively in unison, but then once they get to the point where they have their own material, they just have their own material. Personally, I prefer that. Also prefer it to drawing arrows, you know, this goes down to here and then back up to there. And I think we mentioned that in a previous score actually. So, sans bongos and other percussion, we have interesting that just drops away because that's because I decided I was going to bring out the cellos there, so maybe I'll take that away, keep it piano as marked. because otherwise I'm just going to have to start bumping the dynamics all the way down through this as it crescendos. Okay, now we get a bump in dynamic because the lower staff of the cellos hasn't had a starting dynamic that matches that one, so we need to do that. Piano, I'm going to hide it though because it doesn't really need it. The cellos will know from their part like this. Obviously layout's hideous, but they know they've been playing piano, and then here where it splits, let's imagine this is the start of the new line. They know what dynamic they're already playing. They're not going to suddenly go, whoa! So now that should work. Okay. Good. Then we're going to have sopranos and altos come in on that. And funnily enough, they are singing R. Choir dynamics go above the line, so you've got the space below for lyrics. Sops and altos, yeah. So we've got standard SATB, I believe. Although I think it's going to be all women in this one, sops and altos. This continues. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could do, because this is always down an octave, you could put 8 VB, sempre 8 VB, which means always, or you could do a continual line like that all the way through. But I think having individual ones per note in this case works and allows some space here if we have any harp or whatever that is, choir, that comes up into this area, or slurs come up there. Nicer for vertical spacing. Right, so so that's the same as the last 4 bars, but without the dynamic change, so do that. You are on D, that's fine. You are still doing that, I think. Yep, same chord. Probably want that to be staccato as well to match in, be a bit more punchy, but I'm matching the manuscript for now. Then violins come in together on the string, and then it's a piano, like that. Fun. You continue. Oh, continues. Oh. And then that comes down on beat 3 by the looks of it. Right, so then that gets a bit bigger. There is stuff after the double bar line, but I'm going to stop there when I've put this stuff in for violins and strings. So we come up to this bar line and stop, and we just play the whole thing back. Yes, right, better. Interesting that it puts the landing dynamic of the crescendo on the last note of that rather than the first note of the next bar, but there we go. I'll follow that. So upper cellos. So, lower cellos, these guys are doing non-div bits, not bits. So we want, in fact, let's just do that, it's a bit quicker. Don't take that one out. Okay. I'll do that. This is 2/2 because it was 3 before. frame. That. See, the way that is placed, I think, because this double bass MF is placed here as well, and I think that really is on the next bar, so we'll put that in for now. So we've got a landing dynamic. Like that. And then we reach the next section. They are actually labelled in the score in sections as well, which is quite interesting. So we then hit section 1. So let's have a listen to, I guess, section 0. Okay. Hi Michael, no worries about joining late. The good thing about these live streams is that if you want to, you can watch them back again. So see how we started off, but you've not missed much. I love Horner's amazing Spider-Man score. I've had a look through it a few times with a half an eye on publishing potential, but there's so much post-processing and pre-record and overdub and what have you going on that I think it would just be too problematic. No, that makes it sound negative, but you know, too time consuming to versus, you know, sort of effort versus reward. Maybe some point in the future when I'm more established and have many bods working for me, but we can cut down some of the production time, but me on my own, it would just take me forever. And that's time that I wouldn't be able to spend on something else, unfortunately. The deep joys of this business. Sorry, wittering. MF. Okie dokie. Right. That is that, so that's fine. We've got clarinet 1 on that. And then horns. We want space clefs all round. Very helpful, was it? Thought it might at least do it for all of them. Yes, you're absolutely right about Avatar. I was asked, on my website, a sort of legacy thing from very early days is I still have a blog page on there. I haven't updated it in God knows how long. I tend to use Facebook for just kind of brain dumps every now and then. And it's a lot of effort to maintain a blog, I find. You just spend so much time blogging and no time working. So, but anyway, I left it up because there are some good things in there. And one of them is like if you could pick 3 scores that you'd like to see us publish, what would they be? Excluding certain things like John Williams, which unfortunately is not possible to license at the moment. I think I might even have specified from some things which I was thinking of, but I think I left it fairly open. And then a sort of a wild card, really anything. What would you pick? And occasionally I get one of those still gets responded to and comes through to my email. And I had an inquiry this week about Avatar and Titanic, I think. And both of those have got so much synth stuff in them and changes to the manuscript and that. It's a similar sort of thing where you're like, oh man, they're great scores. I just don't think they'd work very well on the page, or they would take forever to get right. So they've kind of been shelved. They're on my radar for sure, and you can probably bet that most scores that people would ask for are on my radar to some degree. And I've either considered them and ruled them out, or considered them, would love to do them. It's just I can maybe do 4, 5 scores at an absolute push per year. So if there are 20 scores, which I'd love to do, it's going to take me 4 years to do them, and there are probably 100 scores that I'd love to do, so a bit of a predicament. I do get asked occasionally, why are you doing score X and not score Y, which is a fun one to answer. And sometimes most of the time it's a case of timing, licensing, availability, but also, perhaps I am actually doing score Y, but I've got permission to do it, but at the moment I'm busy doing score X. Sorry, and I just haven't announced it yet. I've actually got, after Rocketeer, I've got 4 scores secured. I've announced Braveheart will be next after the Rocketeer, but I haven't said anything about what's coming after that. Ooh, that's fun. A bit of mislabeling going on there. It's really hard not to talk about stuff that is either in the works or secured for like next year, or things I'd like to do. There's, because of the timelines and that this stuff takes to actually get approval and what have you. You don't want to jeopardise things, and also the stuff that I have secured for next year, I don't want to talk about that now and get people all excited, and then they're just kind of going, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, for the next 9 months. I want them to focus on what is available now. But I'm very excited about what is in the pipeline. It's going to be great. I wonder if that is... Yeah. Okay, I think that's that. So, you get one of those. 3. Good. And then that's loco. Ooh, that's interesting. So you're together. Like that. Upper cellos are on that, without that. That. And we've got that bracketed, so non-divisi for that line. It's already divisi within the section. And bases. So, that looks like it might be that. In which case, that accent belongs to there. Good. Sorry, I can see the chat's going crazy. If you're talking to me, I will read it in a second. Probably commenting on my wittering. Hi Dimitri. Oh, hi Laith as well. Wee, busy. Did I say hello, Michael? Hi, Michael. Yes, I did. No worries for joining late. Whoa, loads of stuff. The greatest superhero theme ever created in history. Yikes, that's there are some pretty awesome ones out there. I'm not sure if I'd call this the greatest. It's a very good one. Yes, because Michael, I remember you saying about having some reservations about watching Braveheart. And what did you think of it? Because I seem to remember we had a private discussion. I may have allayed some of your fears, not fears, reservations, but did you feel like I then misled you? What's the news on Rocket Boy and Rocketeer? So I'm putting finishing touches on it. I hope to be able to send it to the printers by the end of this coming week. As soon as it goes to the printers, it will be available for patron supporters to pre-order, and I'm expecting it to be available on wide pre-order the week after, which is when we're doing the ASMAC webinar session as part of their series, the director-composer relationship, in which they've discussed various scores with directors like why am I blanking? Joe Dante and come on, Phil Alden. Who else have they done? Brad from the Iron Giant we did. So we're doing another one of those, and Brad Bird, yes, gosh, my brain is not working in this heat. Yeah, so we are doing a session on the 23rd of September, Saturday, at 8 PM UK time, which is midday Pacific, and work it out wherever you are. It's free to attend. You just have to sign up on the ASMAC page so that you get sent a Zoom link. And we're going to be joined by director Joe Johnson and music editor and music supervisor, producer, I should say, sorry, Joe E. Rand and Jim Henriksen. Sarah Horner will be there, maybe Sean Murphy, not sure yet, and the only surviving orchestrator on the team, Conrad Pope, is unfortunately not available, but I'm speaking to him on Thursday, and hopefully I'll have a little message to drop in from him as well. So it's going to be a brilliant session. We're going to dig into the score, loads of behind the scenes kind of chat with Joe. And what's lovely about those sessions that I really enjoy is how it brings the creative team back together again to look at the film from a point of view that doesn't get discussed very much. You know, directors don't get asked about the music much. They get asked about the visuals, you know. So, yeah, I think it's going to be great. So, yeah, I'm expecting that the score will be available to pre-order for non-patrons on 23rd of September. And it will ship. If I send it to the printers end of this coming week, it will ship the week after, so like 1st of October. No, that's a Sunday, 2nd of October. So yeah, occasionally they actually finish earlier than 2 weeks, so you know, as soon as it's in my hands, it's out the door and into yours. So. But it's looking really, really, really good. It's the biggest book that I've produced so far by quite some margin. It's 390 pages of score. There's another 20 pages of text. There's obviously all the acknowledgements and credits and stuff like that, contents pages, but another 10 pages of analysis and stuff. So it's replete with good stuff. So definitely get your hands on a copy. Of course, I would say that. Anyway, enough wittering and plugging my own stuff. What have we got here? King Nath, what a coincidence. I was listening to... Yep. Aha. Why can I not get rid of that message box? That's really annoying. Aha, there we go, gone. So, Dimitri, hello. Sorry, I'm catching up on all this chat. I'm going to do it now before I carry on with the music. Yeah, I think my opinions on hero themes are fairly aligned with Joseph's. Oh, brilliant. I'm glad that you watched it. Hi, Francisco. Greetings to Mexico from the UK. Oh, brilliant. I also have a kind of business question. If you buy 2 scores at the same time, you will save on international shipping. There is a kind of initial shipping fee that any mail handling company charges, and then it's charged by weight and dimensions, basically the combined weight and dimensions because shipping weight, and where it's going to, obviously. But once you've paid that initial chunk, it goes up in fairly small increments per half kilo weight bracket. So yes, definitely save on multiples. If you buy 4 or more products, you also get 10% discount from me. So if you're planning to do that, drop me an email first, and I'll give you a coupon code, because I'm good like that. Oh yeah, definitely do that. Right, shall we? We had to listen up to the double bar. Well, it's not a double bar, but that bar line there. I'm going to put a double bar in because it's a new section. Let's just carry on, and then we'll have slightly more than 2 bars of a new phrase to listen to. Right. Loads of good stuff now. One of the things I'm excited about for next year's raft of books is I'm going to have at least 2 new composers that have not had any full scores published before. Because I mean, everybody loves Horner and Goldsmith, but it's nice to shine a light on some of our other composers. Totally agree. The Shadow is an amazing score. Love it. I don't know if I'd call it underrated. Maybe the movie is underappreciated, and therefore the score maybe didn't get as much exposure as it deserved. But I think those who know it love it. Let's do that. Like I say, everyone loves a bit of Goldsmith. Oh, that's not right now, is it? Okay, we need a hairpin down on there. Yeah, still one. Cool. That, so that is the same. Let's bring in some bassoons. From there to there, and we've got contra with that as well. Then many horns. That was Atu already, so I'm just gonna. Should have been. Like that. So, I mentioned I'm going to do another Danny score next week. Joseph already knows what it is, so sorry mate, you can't say, but any guesses? MF. We are going to go and do that. Good. And we're going to do that. Do that. There we go. One thing that I've really enjoyed doing with the Rocketeer is part of my proofing process is to go through each cue just soloing each orchestral section. So, you know, I'll listen to the whole cue with just the woodwind, just the brass, just the percussion, just the strings. And it really gives you an appreciation for the inner detail that kind of blends together when you get the whole. And some of the stuff, there's a moment in the end credits of The Rocketeer where the strings and the woodwind are chattering away with an ostinato that almost reminds me of, you know, like a steam locomotive when it's going and you got it's pushing along with a real rhythmic pulse and sailing through that. It's almost like you know when you see a camera shot on the bow of a boat, ship, whatever, that's looking down as it's cutting through the water, you know, just cutting through all this busy stuff. The brass have got, it was basically like a chorale. It is gorgeous. You know, so when I was breaking it down, listening to it like that, it was really lovely. So yeah, a reminder, do come and do that ASMAC session if you can. I think if you can't make it live, they do record it but you have to be a member to be able to access the videos to watch back again after the fact. But it's worth, I would say it's worth the membership. They've got about 300 videos or something of past meetings. Well, it must be more than that. They did loads over COVID and that, so what we got here? We got 3 comes in there. Yes. It's going to be doing silly things. Oh, you are annoying. There we go. Right, MF. I'd have liked to have put voice 2 rests underneath that clarinet line, but it's so low down. That's why I've put 1 bracketed and stuff there. Technically speaking, you should have a second voice resting. Do you have any reason to believe Conan might go out of stock by the time Rocketeer pre-orders? No, it certainly won't. Sleepy Hollow? No, I'm afraid not. Maybe in future. Joseph's asked me a few times for that one, or mentioned that it could be a possible link. Yeah, maybe in future. Not this time. Right, we need... That's why I don't like doing it that way around. So, ordinarily you wouldn't repeat accidentals within the same bar, but because this is, in fact, that's, so on the manuscript we've got 1, 2, 3 on the same staff. Why is that? What is going on with 4? I might match that in. Have they played anything so far? They have not. 3, 4. Okay, so yeah, because you'll see in a second, it kind of makes more sense to split this out. 4, 2, 1, 2. Yes, definitely does. What am I doing? Trombone. So we want that one there, that one there, you to go away. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is joining in there with not that. Oh, why am I doing that then? That doesn't make sense. Okie dokie. Sorry. Change of plan. Back to normal. Do that. Highlight bottom note. Delete. Alright. That's what we want. Okay. Good stuff. Keeps you on your toes, doesn't it? Okay, so we want MP crescendo. Uh, 18 horns. Yeah, it's pretty crazy when composers are allowed free rein to pay for all sorts of crazy orchestra extras like that. I think there was a moment for King Arthur where Hans Zimmer had 24 horns out in a field somewhere. But yeah, mad. Right, 6 and 7 on there. Right. So there's some orchestrator shorthand in this, in that they put the pitches on the first of these notes and then they just put the tails for the rhythm. At least I hope that's what they are, because occasionally some of the note heads are so small that you can't see them, but I think that's the case here. So we've got 5, 6 on there doing that. That should be that, and then that is 6, so that should be voice 2, and voice 1 is there, resting. And any dynamics, MP there. Is it crescendoing? No, it is already on MP, so we're just going to keep that. I think that's brought in for the lower voices. So 7 and 8. 7 comes in here. Oops. Get on the right tab. To F. Like that. That's 7. 7. Okay, getting there, and then we want some timp, no tubas, not yet at least. Let's bring those into the score though. Timp comes in there. No starting dynamic, so I'm going to put it on MP because of what's up above, and then we've got something rolling but not labelled. I'm going to say that's probably a suspended symbol. Didn't mean to do that, never mind. Show suspended symbol. That's going to come in there. Okay. Choir. Okay. So this is still sopranos and altos, but there's no marked split here, so pretty sure that would have been defined in the vocal score, but I don't have that, unfortunately. Moving that to above so that we've got space for the lyric, which is just R. And then we want MP. And let's go like that. Good. Put that on voice 2 so that I can do this tide. New slurred. Great. Now keyboard 2 is still going. Like that. You can see how this time adds up when you're doing copy work like this. The busier the cue, the denser the orchestration. Don't need that again. The longer each page takes. I'd like to think I'm pretty quick. I think I'm a bit quicker when I'm not talking to people and slightly distracted. Yeah, I think that's C sharp. Like that. So we've got a hairpin that goes kind of from there to there. That's all good. That should go up. That should go above. When you've got mixed stem directions, the slur should go above. Like that. Ooh, Nightmare Before Christmas. I think I'd save that one for Halloween or Christmas. I love that movie and that score. That's so good. Polydorus for Conan had 24 horn parts. Are you sure about that? Are you really sure? Because I know that score pretty well. Charlie and the Garbage Factory. No, it's not that. I quite like that as well. Actually, talking about scores I've considered and may consider yet. A nice pairing would be the Elfman and the Schaaf/Brickus interpretations of Roald Dahl's Chocolate Factory movies. Aha, sorry, ads I need to turn off. Orchestration. Yeah. I love that about the triad on 6-horn sample patch. The filmography list. That's a good guess. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not Sweeney Todd either. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory's got one of the greatest songs ever written, I think. Pure Imagination. Harmonically, it's gorgeous. And there's a chap, I can't remember his name now, which is really annoying, but if you can think of who I'm thinking of, put it in the chat. Someone who analysed the harmony of Pure Imagination on YouTube, and his channel is brilliant. I really enjoy it. So I really should know what his name is. I just can't think right now. Yeah, sorry, YouTube changed a whole bunch of things about how ads work on live streams, and I haven't quite figured it out yet. There's something about either having nothing or skippable ads or unskippable ads and manual control over where to place them during the stream, or automatic placement, and all sorts of crud like that I need to sort out. It's like a moving feast, YouTube. Everything's always in flux. Okay, we are really getting somewhere. Right, that should go there. Blimey, look at how the time's marching on. Charles Cornell. Interesting. Mission Impossible is not it. But I rather like Danny Elfman's Mission Impossible score. actually quite like all of them. Joe Kramer's is really good, which is Rogue Nation. Definitely worth checking out. If they weren't so hideous on the page, some of them, I'd kind of like to do the whole Mission Impossible series scores, but there are things that make them not desperately conducive to print scores, unfortunately. Sounds familiar, but it also sounds like there's some slightly iffy notes in there. Let's have a quick listen to this ostinato without that. Okay, something there. Zoom in on that. Hi, Fotis and stuff. I think that's the first time I've seen your name in the live chat. Welcome. Are you sure the timing of the first 3 notes are correct? Yeah, it sounded a bit off to me as well. It might be that it's a podium change, but it definitely matches the manuscript. It's something we check against the audio and fix up. Maybe that's okay. Okay. Maybe it's there. No, that's matching up. Yeah, what we got? What we got? That triplet figure is that should be a C. That's better. Yeah. Well spotted. Rhythmically though, I thought that's where it might be a bit weird. Oh, I've heard Silvestri's Rejected score. It's pretty good. It's very different. I mean, it was a much darker movie, I think. Gabriel Yared's score for Troy is amazing. Yeah. I mean, Horner's score for Troy is pretty decent as well, but I really, really liked Gabriel's score for Troy. Thank you. Okay, so balance is a bit wonky, but that's obviously something that was played with faders, I think. doesn't match the manuscript. I much prefer where it's been thought about and written on the page. Yikes. What a way to get fired. No, Charles Cornell. Yeah, that could be. I can't have a look at... Oh, I could bring it up on my phone, I guess. I see. Yes. Yes. Charles Cornell. Thank you. Definitely deserved a shout out. Hello, fellow Greek. Oh no. Right, I'm going to start translating your messages if we're going to put rude stuff in different languages. Stop it. Put you on a timeout. Put you on the naughty step. What am I getting? Sorry, I'm getting messages about something. Sorry. Okay, that's funny. Right. Now let's have a look. So we go in here. Yeah, you're gonna be a headache. No, so score that we're gonna have a look at next week is one of the most un-Danny Elfman scores ever. But it's not. I mean, it's a real one from the heart sort of thing. But also not playing into the things that became his kind of cliched sound. Not cliched in a bad way, but you know what people kept requesting. Is that FF or SFF? I think it's FFF. Fortissimo. Slightly faster. Flirtando. Flutterton. FP up to Fortissimo. Yoink. No, not that. I don't know if I'm going to get much more than this page done. It's so busy, this school. Copy that. Obviously not flirt and not tattoo either. It just saves me putting the dynamic in again. Clarinet 2 is on A. Like that. I'll just do all these while I'm there, I think. Oh no, I'll get lost. Okay, that is clarinet 1 and 2. Was not A2, so that's fine. Unless it was, where is clarinet? Call. No, that's fine. Octave. Oh, right, no, not A2, but octave basso. Hello, Donny. There we go. AJ straight on it. Talk about it being a non-typical Elfman score. PlayStation's right. Yeah, right. It's kind of worrying to think how long ago some of these films came out, though. I'm now at the age where people are describing things that feel like they were a couple of years ago to me as being those old films, and you know, oh, I've never seen that. I haven't seen anything that came out before 1990 or something. Like, what? Or even worse, like anything before 2000. I'm just going to copy that. Yeah. What is that? That's fine. That is fine. 50. That's not as bad. 2. That is with contra. Good. No, because we've done that a different way. Yes, so that should be. There. FB crescendo. That is like that. Nope. And then we get why would you do that? very strange way of notating that. Do it. Okay. Okay. So that's hand stops. But what I found unusual is that there's like a repeat mark there. Why wouldn't you just write another one? I suppose it's time saving, but okay. So that's good stuff. Trumpet. That should be 4 trumpets. Right, okay, so no, we're on the wrong tab, you silly person. Try that again. Okay, so you do that. Trumpet 2 is on there, so A1 is not really a thing, but I've set my Sibelius up so that it will basically change the note performer voice from A2 trumpets to solo trumpet. With that instruction, so then we won't get 4 trumpets on those 2 notes. Like that. So first 3 goes to still mute, straight mute, and 4 is open. Well, that's handy. Don't think it will do that on the same stave. Horn 5. Okay. FP. Crescendo, just like that. Right. It's kind of at it, but kind of not. So what I'm going to do is, oops, that, tails up and down. And I'm going to do, oh, that's not helpful. 3 straight mute, 4 open. Let's do that. Do that on 2 separate. So hopefully it's going to take the instructions for each voice from, you see that's blue for voice 1, green for voice 2. I'm not entirely sure it will do that. being on the same staff, sometimes what it will do is just read both, and whichever it reads last is what both voices will end up doing. But we can try. Okay, so we interesting. So actually what's going on there is, of course it's not R4, it's 4 and giving 3 the opportunity to put the mute on. Yeah. Okay, so then we have I've laid out the score slightly different to the manuscript, so that's why occasionally I'm having to backtrack. That's 3, 4. What now? Like that. Then we've got what? Well, that's not helpful, is it? Don't say that's 4 and 7. 2. Because you've got 4 up there already. What is going on with the voicing? 6, 7, 8 on that. 1, 2, 3 on that. 1, 2, 3. What? That's as clear as mud. Dick Tracy would be great. I am trying to get hold of that manuscript. It's one of those kind of ones that Disney wants to forget about, I think. But it's a great score. If that movie ever pops up on Disney Plus, I'll be amazed. God, it's so hot here too. It's been like 32, 33 degrees Celsius, which is what, 94 to 96 Fahrenheit, but with no aircon and houses that are designed to keep the heat in. Great. It's just horrible. Right, I'm going to say that's 6 and 7, because I mean in the manuscript scan I've got is quite blurry, so that makes more sense. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, that kind of makes more sense now. Now that I've interpreted it that way, I can kind of see what's going on. Right, so 7 on there, 6 on there, which means that needs to be voice 2. That needs rests under. And then zoom out again. 5, yeah, it must be 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is going to go. Yep. Been waiting for that little figure. You guys are going to hate me because I'm going to stop at the end of this page. Yeah. Oh, it's just getting good. Yep. Okay. Like that. Okay. That goes right up to the edge, so they can too. They probably need that too. Okay, what else we got here? Do that. So, like that. And that is that. Not specified, but I'm guessing that's that too. What's going on there? Good. Okay, tubas come in like that as well. Or tuba 1. That sounds right. Yeah, so I'm really excited to be looking at Black Beauty next week because I really like that score. I don't know if you guys know it. How many of you guys know it? symbol again on beat 2, so that is, must be an LV rather than a tie. Then that. It's actually surprising if you look through the cast list as well. It's full of British actors. It's a British production, but some really recognisable actors in there. A classic story. What we can start on there, piano. We've got, okay. So that this which was not labelled is labelled over the page, and it is Tam Tam. And it is tied. To Tam Tam. That needs a full name because it hasn't actually been said before. We've changed it, and it rolls and rolls and ends. Those then get a lacy vibrato. I actually took my daughter to see that Little Mermaid during the school summer holidays only a few weeks ago, and yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It was not terrible. Some of the live action remakes for Disney movies, Disney classics, have been pretty miss rather than hit for me, but yeah, that was okay. Now, that it says snare, that little smudge. So show that. And that is obviously field drum without snare. Yes, that's fine. Okay, and it starts crescendo. To MF, I guess. Oh no, okay. Then something else rolling that is unlabelled. I'm gonna say probably Gran Casa. Really not helpful not labelling your instruments, Mr. Mackenzie. So that is chimes on the next page, so we can do that. But yeah, my guess is that's going to be bass drum. Yup. That's piano crescendo to sticky key. Right, so those are times. I don't know what to hide that. Let's get so you can be chimes. Forte. Like that. So far we've had no piano 1, so I'm going to hide that in a second, just for vertical spacing reasons. Don't think we've had any harp either. Get rid of those. Use the space. Right, choir. Page didn't have 3 notes. It did not. As I say, there's no indication of voicing for the choir in the manuscript. That is quite common. In fact, what was I looking at? I was looking at the vocal score for Conan, and that shows the choir splits into like 6 or something, but in the score it shows 4. It's only when you look at the vocal score you know that that's the voicing. They've just put what chords are being sung basically into the score. Like that, without the dynamics. Okay. We're way over time. I've just kept ploughing on. I want to get this page done. Dizzy. 40 piano. Up to fortissimo. Yeah. What a horrible place I'm going to leave it in. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Right. I should have put the dynamics in, I guess. So you go on F sharp here. And then you go F sharp A, down the octave. Nice. Get in there. Yep, good stuff. Let's copy those dynamics there. Right, so we could, yeah, I'm going to split these out for the accents. So but you could do those as eighth notes, quavers with a single slash through. So that becomes Eunice at that point, but because it's on two staves, because we've got lower cello. So at this point here, this bar is left blank, then there's a brace between the two with a Eunice marking. Again, in the same vein as earlier on where cello's split halfway through the page, I want to fill that, and then on the next page I'll mark it as unison on a single line. Why am I giving you all my secrets, eh? Like so, yeah, that actually should have been on the staff above. Why has that gone down? Because the spacing. Shit. Oh, lovely. Thanks for that. Jeez, so babies, come on. See what I'm working with. Okay. The piano's not doing anything there. I'm going to get rid of that as well, just for that page, so that we can see what's going on a bit clearer. Get rid of you and you. I might do that throughout. They haven't played anything yet. A bit more legible. Right, just the basses. Oh, and the dynamics on there. So let's do that. Getting bombarded by moths. Another joy of British summers. Got to open all the windows because the house is so hot, and then you get attacked by moths. Prelude to War from Battlestar Galactica. Oh yeah, well, I'll talk to Bear about that at some point. I've published the Passacaglia and Battlestar Sonatica from Battlestar Galactica, but never got around to doing the prelude yet. Yeah, I love Bears stuff, and the score for Rings of Power is really nice. You hated The Lion King, what? Hunchback's the one you want to watch. It's really underrated. Music is, in my opinion, Alan Menken's best. The stage version is just amazing. It actually kind of restores the more dark, gothic ending to the story, rather than the slightly lighter, only marginally lighter, Disney version. But the music is just wonderful, amazing. Right then, okay, so sorry in advance, because that's going to be a horrid place to leave this score, but let's have a listen to what we've done tonight. See, told you, horrible place to leave it. And it always feels like I haven't made very much progress. So 32 bars in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Obviously I've stopped for a little while to chat and stuff, but when you have a score with a lot of stuff going on that's not just repetitive ostinato where you can just press the repeat button, and you've actually got to key it in, it is time consuming. Which is why sometimes you'll see I don't necessarily pick main titles or the busy action cues to do on the chain. Rather I'll find something a bit gentler that we can actually make some real good headway with. Sounds pretty good though. I see your comment, AJ, about Lion King. I really do like that score. But even better for me, and one of my all-time favourite Hans Zimmer scores is Prince of Egypt. I would dearly love to publish that, but we will have to see. Yeah, that's a really lovely one. So it triggered something else. Oh, the Bear McCreary stuff. Something I really enjoy is how he approaches a score, and particularly thinking about the instrumentation. And a real fun one to look at is Child's Play, which uses a lot of toy instruments. There's a really fun music video for the theme from Child's Play with Bear playing. There we go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and if you have, please do the usual things like subscribe, comment, all that jazz. If you're interested in having a look behind the scenes at some stuff, there's loads of videos behind the scenes of me, my production process of The Rocketeer, and books going back to, I think it only goes back as far as Independence Day, but I could be wrong there, and a couple of other bits and bobs, some exclusive videos on Patreon, so check that out. Trying to expand that a bit over the coming year, coming months, coming year, so maybe go and have a look over there. But anyway, I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you again next time for Black Beauty. But for now, let me export that to a PDF so I can run it more on a full screen, and I'll play you out with the original audio. And we want to go there, open that, do that, do that, do that. Actually, because it's going to annoy me, should do that. That's better. Okie dokie. Take care. Have a good week. Ciao for now.